This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I will take a look at the latest 3-year-old male division news, including a Travers recap and a Pennsylvania Derby preview. Now, in the Travers Stakes, Magnitude set the pace from the inside post as expected, but he was not as fast early as he had been in his recent front-running victories in the Risen Star and the Iowa Derby. Now, Bracket Buster was able to press the pace from second from post 2. He took the lead after a mile, but Sovereignty, your heavy favorite, was just uncorking his rally at that time. He took the lead in the stretch. He took over and he romped by 10 lengths. Bracket Buster was clearly second best. Magnitude weakened to finish a disappointing third, beaten more than 20 lengths. McAfee was fourth, and Strategic Focus for trainer Chad Brown. He was fractious in the paddock and in the gate, and he eased in the stretch. Now, Sovereignty stopped the clock in 2 minutes, 0.84 seconds, and this was the third fastest Travers since 2016. Arrogant won the Travers in 1:59.36 seconds, and Epicenter won the race in 2 minutes, 0.72 seconds. Now, Sovereignty earned a lofty 1:15 Beyer speed figure for his 10-length Travers romp, and he's the early favorite for Horse of the Year at this point, obviously for the 3-year-old title as well. Now, he's 5 for 6 with a runner-up finish this year. His wins occurred in the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth, Grade 1 Kentucky Derby, Grade 1 Belmont, Grade 2 Jim Dandy, and Grade 1 Travers Stakes. Now, he was a deep closer through the Kentucky Derby this year, but then after that, he showed improved tactical speed in his last 3 stakes victories, and that's made him doubly tough to deny. Now, his ability to navigate 10 furlongs against 3-year-olds is definitely what is separating him from the pack. He's going to train up to the Breeders' Cup Classic, and he's the early favorite for that race, but his task won't be nearly as easy at Del Mar. He's going to be facing the best older horses in training. Many of them are seasoned pros in Grade 1 races at 1.25 miles. Now, the Grade 1 H. Allen Jerkens Memorial at 7 furlongs on the Travers undercard for 3-year-olds, it was definitely loaded with talented sprinters, and Patch Adams from the inside post, he picked up his second Grade 1 victory. Now, he was the post-time favorite. He stalked from the inside post, and he prevailed by a hard-fought nose over Captain Cook, 20-1 long shot for trainer Todd Pletcher. And he was making his first start for Pletcher as well. So a good effort from Captain Cook, but Patch Adams was able to pick up the victory. And Barnes for trainer Bob Baffert was best of the rest in third. And Patch Adams got a 1:03 Beyer speed figure for his victory on Saturday. Now, we'll see what they do. If they want to go in the Breeders' Cup, they're going to have to cut back a furlong and run him in the Breeders' Cup Sprint at 6 furlongs, or they would have to stretch out and run him in the Dirt Mile, and he's definitely a 7-furlong specialist. Now, Owen Almighty, he returned in the Robert Hilton Memorial Stakes at Charlestown on August 22nd. He was the favorite, 3-2 odds, but nothing went right for him at Charlestown. He chased inside, he steadied, he eased in the stretch, and he walked off the track. Now, Charlestown is a half-mile bull ring oval. Not all runners handle that unique layout. And obviously, Owen Almighty certainly did not. Everything went wrong. They're going to have to regroup with him. Now, Barbadian runner, he rallied to win that event by more than 2 lengths over Neo Aquos. Now we're going to look at the latest workout and news for other top 3-year-olds, and we're going to talk about the Pennsylvania Derby as well. Now, Big Truzz, he exited his romping victory in the Ellis Park Derby in good order, and he's targeting the Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby at Parks on September 20th. Other Pennsylvania Derby hopefuls include Baeza, Burnham Square, Chunk of Gold, Goal Oriented, Gosger, and McPatrick. So the Pennsylvania Derby is shaping up as a competitive event. We'll know more about the field as it takes shape as we get closer to September 20th. Now, my early Pennsylvania Derby thoughts, obviously, if the Preakness and Haskell runner-up Gosger goes in the Pennsylvania Derby, he probably would be the favorite. And for trainer Bob Baffert, he's won the Pennsylvania Derby 4 times, and he has an improving runner, goal-oriented. He was a close third in the Haskell Stakes last time out, and he would be a good fit, I think, if they do go for the Pennsylvania Derby. Now, Baeza is another one. He ran into journalism in the Santa Anita Derby, and then he ran into sovereignty and journalism when they finished in front of him, and he finished third in the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont. And then he only finished a length behind sovereignty in the Jim Dandy Stakes in his last start at 1 1/8 miles. And that effort definitely looks better now following sovereignty's Travers romp and getting that 1:15 Beyer. Now, he is still eligible for an entry-level allowance event because he's only crossed the line first in one start in his career. Now, Big Truzz is an intriguing um, uh, hopeful for the Pennsylvania Derby. And if I had to pick a horse very early right now, of course, as I said, we don't really know the field or anything right now, but I would make him my very, very early Pennsylvania Derby top choice. Now, I've always liked this horse. He was third in the Grade 1 Woody Stevens at 7 furlongs, and he ran into Patch Adams that day. And Patch Adams, that was his first Grade 1 victory, and then Patch Adams would go on and win the H. Allen Jerkens Memorial. I just mentioned that. So Patch Adams is a two-time Grade 1 winner. So that wasn't a bad effort in that Woody Stevens. And I picked him on top in the Indiana Derby. He stalked wide and he weakened that day, but the track was an inside speed-friendly track, so he didn't really have a great shot that day. And then the Ellis Park Derby was his breakout race. He stalked from second, he took over the lead, and he romped by 7 lengths. That was a visually impressive effort, getting a 100 Beyer speed figure. And his sire is Triple Crown winner Justify, and he is out of a Curlin mare, so a 1.125 might be within range. So we'll keep tracking that Pennsylvania Derby in the coming weeks, and I'll certainly have a Pennsylvania Derby video when that comes up. Now, Burnham Square was 5th in the Grade 1 Haskell in his last start, and he's worked 4 times this month at Skylight Training Center in Louisville, Kentucky, and he breezed 4 furlongs in 48.20. That was best of 7 on August 17th, and he went a half mile in 48.80, third best of 11 on August 24th. He's a late runner, so in his races, he needs pace help. Citizen Bull, he worked 5 furlongs in 59.40, 24th best of 94 at Del Mar on August 23rd. He's targeting the Shared Belief Stakes at Del Mar on August 31st. That's a listed event. And he was your 2-year-old champion. He's been disappointing since winning the Robert Lewis Stakes. They're trying to get him back on track. Final Gambit for trainer Brad Cox. He breezed a half mile in 48.40 seconds, third best of 64 at Saratoga on August 22nd, and he's nominated to the Grade 3 Nashville Derby. We'll see if they end up going there. He'll like that longer distance. Now, Gaming was last seen winning the Affirm Stakes on June 8th for trainer Bob Baffert, and he worked 5 furlongs in 59.40, 24th best of 94 at Del Mar on August 23rd. No word on his next start. Baffert seems to have him back on track. Now, Gosger, we mentioned him. If he did go in the Pennsylvania Derby, he would probably be the favorite. He had a 4 furlong workout, 48.80 seconds, 16th best of 34 at Churchill Downs on August 21st. Now, Hill Road for trainer Chad Brown. He breezed 4 furlongs in 49.74 seconds, 34th best of 64 at Saratoga on August 23rd, and he's going to go back to the turf course and run in the Grade 3 $3.5 million Nashville Derby at Kentucky Downs on August 30th. Now, Journalism, your second best 3-year-old behind Sovereignty. He had his 3rd workout since winning the Grade 1 Haskell Stakes on July 19th. He went 5 furlongs in a minute, 43rd best of 94. That was on August 23rd, and in company with his stablemate Phosphorescence. He galloped out a mile in 139.40, and Umberto Rispoli was aboard for the workout, his regular rider. He's going to make his next start in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic at Del Mar on August 30th. And he's going to be taking on older company. And as a 3-year-old, he will get a 6-pound weight break. So he'll carry 118 pounds. The older horses will carry 124. Now, 6 3-year-olds have won the Pacific Classic. The last one was Arabian Night for trainer Bob Baffert in 2023. Now, Sandman, he breezed a half mile on turf in 48.70 seconds. That was at Saratoga on August 22nd. He's expected to switch surfaces and run in the Nashville Derby on August 30th next. Now, Tappan Street, he's the last horse to defeat Sovereignty, and he might return to action by the end of the year. Now, he fractured his right front leg following a pre-Kentucky Derby workout. That was on April 26th, and he had surgery in the spring. His recovery is going well. He was your Florida Derby winner, and he was able to defeat Sovereignty in that event. And he's been galloping at Windstar Farm for the last couple weeks. He could return to the work tab in late August or September. Now, he's going to breeze a few times at Windstar Farm before rejoining Brad Cox's barn at Churchill Downs in October. And if things go well for him, they might target the Pegasus World Cup at Gulfstream Park in January or the Saudi Cup in February. And that'll do it for this video. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, I'm covering the following full cards this summer: the remainder of the Del Mar summer meet from August 28th through September 7th. And then after Del Mar, I'm going to cover full cards for Santa Anita for their autumn meet. And then I'll be back to Del Mar for their fall meet. And I'm going to be covering both Breeders' Cup days. I do those annual Breeders' Cup full cards each day, each year. And I'm going to be doing those again at Del Mar as part of their fall meet this season. So go to the runawayhorse.com, and on my shop page, you'll find my upcoming full card schedule, and you can purchase my full card products. And I will include a link to my shop page in the video description below. Now, if you do pre-purchase my products, I always email my analysis 1 or 2 days before race day, and I update tickets after scratches the day of each race day. And you can check out my Better Bets free picks page at the runawayhorse.com. I'm 12 for 24 during the month of August, so I'm doing well with my free picks. So keep checking my Better Bets free picks page each day for a free pick from around the country. And I also do a Horse of the Day video series at Del Mar. And I've been doing those on my channel since their summer meet started. And through the first 23 days of their summer meet, my top choices in my videos: 9 wins, 3 runner-up finishes, and 5 show finishes. So keep checking my channel for all these handicapping videos, for news videos, today's Racing Digest video series where I talk about how to use today's Racing Digest. So I got a lot of different things going on, along with my Horse of the Day video series short videos. So like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. We just went over 7,000 subscribers this week. Let's keep this channel growing. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.